Well, hey, welcome everybody. How are you? It's good to see you and it's good to be seen by you. I, of course, am the one and only the Dungeon Delver, Bill Sylvie, coming at you on a Tuesday evening. And I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful time this Tuesday evening. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing swell. I hope you haven't been kissed by that bug that's going around. It's funny. I felt a lot better yesterday than I do now, which is not to say like I've had some awful relapse, but man, today all I wanted to do was just nap. I've been tired today, like things that I had planned to do today, I didn't get around to. Hail, Michael Connor, unbreaded. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, today I'm going to record the review for Darkness Under the Waterfowl, and that's going to be fun. And my body was like, or you could just, go lie down in bed and pull a comforter over you and just do that. So I said, well, clearly other plans were made without my full knowledge, so that's what I did. But despite that, thank you guys very much for hanging out and for sticking with the show. Guys, we're at 4,480 subscriptions on YouTube, which just floors me. It just wows me. So if you're stopping by, like if you're like, well, I'm going to check this Bill Sylvie character out, I'm going to see what's going on. I don't know what he's all about. And you haven't already subscribed, please click that subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. That is the most useful and wonderful thing you can do for the channel. Of course, if you want to support us on Patreon or Subscribe Star, you can do that. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate the over 1,000 followers I have on Twitter now. It's like almost 1,100 followers on Twitter, which I guess is a good thing. I don't think any of them are Chinese bots, but I could be wrong. What am I going to do when I reach 5,000? Well, I don't know. Probably a celebratory libation of some kind. If I hit 5,000 before the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, which is something that I had planned to have rolled out the sign-up sheets and all for today, but again, see previous statement, re-napping. I intend to give away a premium color reprint set of the Dungeon Master's Guide, Monster Manual, and Player's Handbook for AD&D, and a bespoke repro all-in-one volume of original Dungeons and Dragons. If that happens before the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, which is, of course, in June, there'll be an announcement about that tomorrow. But otherwise, when I hit 5,000 subs, like I said, I'll just raise my glass, toast myself, and we'll salute the day, and I'll salute you guys, and we'll move on. Maybe it happens to the channel on a weekend, and I don't really, it's like, oh, hey, this past Saturday we crossed over 5,000. Maybe it happens live while we're on air. Wouldn't that be an interesting turn of events? I should get inebriated while doing the live stream. I mean, it would be nice, but I mean, it's not like hitting 100,000, which, I mean, I'll never get that. Like, this show will never reach 100,000 subscribers. That just won't happen. But, you know, I mean, 5,000 is kind of a would be nice moment. But anyway, we'll see when we get there. We'll see how I feel. Like, literally how I feel. Because let's say hypothetically, 520 more people subscribed like tonight. Well, first of all, that isn't going to happen. But second of all, like, I'm not going to pile a bunch of alcohol on my system right now while I'm still technically under the weather. I'm just not going to do that. So it'll come down to when it happens. And we'll just kind of proceed apace, as Gary said. Tomorrow night. Now, I know that typically Wednesday nights we have Kyle on, and we do we do things with Kyle. But for the sake of scheduling for our guest tomorrow night, Alan Hammock will be on the show. You don't want to miss that. Alan, of course, wrote Ghost Tower of Inverness. He's an editor on Greyhawk, and that is the Greyhawk box set. And of course, he's the creator of Assault on the Eyrie of the Slave Lords. So we're looking at that. Unregistered Hypercam, how to hit 100K subs, come up with the biggest viral video of the year, will happen overnight, but they'll never come back. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it works. I do wonder, of the 4,480 subscriptions that we have now, I do kind of wonder how many of those folks stuck around. That is correct, Luther. Alan is an alumni of the Capstone, and that is, well, I'll let him tell the story of the town of Suderham and how it got its name. I've told you guys plenty of times. So we're looking forward to that. Alan will be on, and then we have I think we're going to have Ty Beard on. Ty is actually going to be in town later this month. I don't know if I'll be able to occupy his time to like get him on the show, get him in here to the studio. Oh, thank you very much, Brian. I don't know if Larry Braum is or not. I don't know, Luther. But anyway, one way or the other, we'll get Ty Beard on the show, because Ty isn't just, a high-powered attorney. He's a game designer and a game player, and those are the kind of folks we like to have on the show too, as well. And if Ty can bring his legal acumen to talk about the 1D&D or all the OGL nonsense and so on, if that's what Ty wants to talk about, then we'll do that. Mobius, Crap Phone, greetings to you both. But first and foremost, of course, and again, Alan Hammock. And then later on, we'll have Errol Otis and David LaForce and Darlene and so many other great guests. So many other great guests will be coming on. So, John Walker, greetings to you. So we've got all that coming up. And of course, Let's Plays. We've got lots of those coming up tonight at 9:00 here. That's in less than an hour, by the way. I should point that out. That's in less than an hour. We'll be playing some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Now, if you've never stopped by for one of our AD&D games, they're a lot of fun. They're often theater of the mind, but just as less often, but occasionally we actually have miniatures and terrain and dungeon walls and stuff like that. We'll have that set up. But tonight, that's not the case tonight. But I think we will have a good game tonight. At least I hope it'll be a good game. And you guys will have to pardon me. I have to stay hydrated. But anyway, that is at 9 o'clock. And then this Friday at 9, we'll be playing some classic Gamma World with the Friday gang. And I know you guys enjoy that a lot. It's a big hit. Crapphone says Theater of the Mind is the way to go. I can do either. You know what? I love miniatures and I love terrain and I love having it out and I love playing with it. But like right now, the table over there, which you guys can't see and I'm not going to put a camera on, given its terrible state, is in a terrible state. And it's just because, like, you know, when I came in from the con, like I can see the plastic Gary Con shopping bag and some flyers and some, you know, receipts I had piled out there and that sort of thing, and things that I just laid out there on terrain and next to terrain and so on. And you could say, well, why don't you just clean it off, Bill? I've been sick. And you don't think that picking up and organizing a table is a big deal until you have to do it when you have the flu. So right now it's just kind of a wreck, and it doesn't necessarily suit tonight's scenario. Sometimes we can use that terrain. And the cat is not on the table right now, and that's my wife's cat anyway. But I mean, sometimes the party will be going through the dungeon, and week after week, we'll slowly reveal sections of the table, and that sort of thing. So there is other times when the party is in the city of Greyhawk and they have wilderness encounter after wilderness encounter before they get into a dungeon. And they might not even go to the section of the dungeon that I have laid out there. Have I heard anything from Vile Necromancer? No, I haven't, and I'm starting to worry. I'm a little concerned. We haven't seen Vile in the audience, so if you're out there, give us a shout, bro. Let us know what's going on in your world, Vile Necromancer. Hopefully, he didn't get hit by the bug. He hasn't been racked up and laid out on his back. So, you know what? Tonight after the game, I'll reach out to Vile. I'll shoot him a text. I think I've got his number in my phone. I'll shoot Vile Necromancer a text and we'll see what's going on with him. And I'll let him know that you guys are concerned. One thing that like, I have seen this pop up. It's gotten a little less in, lately, but is this thing that there's been sort of this big splash in some corners of the old school community. Called Shadow Dark, which I guess you guys have heard of. And some people have said, are you going to back Shadow Dark? Are you going to talk about Shadow Dark? And to be honest, probably not. It seems to me to be a stripped down 5e that in presentation focuses on an old school vibe, which is good. I'm not slagging it or anything. Quite the contrary. I think that's a very good thing. But I think that I think that Shadow Dark, it scratches an itch for people who need the itch scratched in that particular way, but by and large, we're covered here by OD&D and AD&D. If somebody came to me and said, well, I like the idea of AD&D, but not so much actually playing an older set of rules, could we give Shadow Dark a try? I'd say, well, if you haven't played AD&D or OD&D, let's play those first. Uncle Brett heard Vile had throat problems from voice training. Okay. It looks like it's built off 5e, but trying to be more challenging. That's cool. That's cool. And again, I'm not slagging it. I'm not saying, oh, well, it's fake D&D or blah, 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 or whatever, If it's where somebody finds their sweet spot at the table, that's awesome. That's good for you. But again, I've got my bases covered. Micronauts were pretty awesome. Makes me think of the Micronauts. I loved Micronauts, man. Little translucent green and gold plastic bits, and Acro Year and Baron Karza and all that jazzmatazz. I have heard that mentioned just a few times. Hello, Orbital Air. Better is relative. Wasn't there like a big one, like you bought like individual pieces of and just gradually like built him? He was like this tall. Is that Force Commander I'm thinking of? It will still think it will take more than 6 months to have AI GMs. I don't know. As a lark, I went into Chat GPT and I said, hey, because this is actually my co-host Kyle asked Chat GPT to DM him a game, and it just like sat there blinking, and I asked it, and it said, like, as a language construct mode AI, I don't have the props to run a D&D game for you, and just kind of went off. Now, here's an interesting thing, and I've mentioned this before. Chat GPT, whatever version is out there, yeah, exactly, Cheeseburger. Why not just a video game at that point? Who are you role-playing to? But one afternoon, I fired it up and I typed Isle of Man 2 by Ministry. I just literally typed that in. If you don't know who Ministry is, they're a groundbreaking American new wave industrial. It literally varies album to album what kind of sound you're going to get out of Ministry. I mean, you go all the way back to With Sympathy, and it's faux European synth pop. And then Twitch is probably the closest thing they have to a pure industrial album. And then The Land of the R Word and Honey is like aggro skate punk, straight out of the ST playbook, the Tendencies playbook. And then you get to almost like with The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste in Psalm 69. It's like they're just borrowing huge chunks of the Slayer playbook and so on and et cetera. But have I seen the Grim Hollow campaign for fun? No, I haven't. But anyway, to get back to ChatGPT and what this has to do with the price of tea in China, I typed Ministry, Isle of Man 2. Now, it's an industrial track by Ministry. It's a dirge almost about the world being destroyed by pollution. And it spat out song lyrics at me that don't match anything in the song or any song at all. It just made up a song. And so I said repeat, and it made up new lyrics, and it kept doing it and doing it. It was basically just making up a song when I would type Ministry, Isle of Man 2. It's just like, okay. Last night, I typed, I said, what is the, hey, Trace Richards. I said, what is the plot of Starquake? And not to go too deep off on a tangent, Starquake is a really, really interesting novel about time dilation and creatures that live on the surface of a neutron star. It's really, you can go look it up. ChatGPT gave me the right author's name, but it made up something that doesn't match the plot at all. Like, it didn't take the plot of a different sci-fi book and say the plot of Starquake is from this other book. It literally just made up a plot. And I typed at it, that's not the plot to Starquake. So, I'm sorry, you're right. And it made up something else. The point is, it just kind of, it says it can't make things up, but it can. Like, it's made up song lyrics, and it just invented a plot novel, a novel for a plot for a novel. That's right, Uncle Brad. It was Robert Forward. Hey, RPG Grandma. I'm still very tired, Chris. I'm still very tired. So that was just, that's just kind of a weird thing, a weird interaction. And when you call it on it, now here's a funny thing. Here's a truly funny thing. When you call it on it, like I did with the lyrics, I said, after typing in Ministry Isle of Man 2 at it a few times, and I said, those aren't the lyrics to Isle of Man 2 by Ministry. Give me the actual lyrics to the song. And it did. Now, I didn't ask it to tell me the actual plot to Starquake by Robert Forward, but I do imagine I do imagine if I did tell it, like, basically stop lying, that it would do it. And I wonder why it did. In the case of the Ministry song lyrics, and in the case of the plot to Starquake, why? Like, what going down the logic tree, what made it arrive at the decision to just invent something whole cloth instead of just regurgitating? I mean, calling the plot summary up out of a data set and putting it on the screen surely would have been a more efficient exercise of its code than to come up with something whole cloth. Would it not have? I like all of your responses, by the way. It's been possessed by a demon. And for all I know, you guys are ChatGPT. I hope you're not. Someone mentioned that when writing term papers, it references sources that don't exist. Do a deep dive on Dragon Magazine 298. It has an update to Airly Sinlu and Cool Drow stuff. Okay. All right, I can do that. You know what? Maybe we'll do that Thursday night. It certainly may have been playing with me, Paladin ZX. Now, here's an interesting thing. Here's an interesting thing. Late third edition issues of Dragon and Dungeon Magazine from Paizo are actually very good for classic D&D. Now, you might not think that's the case, right? As they approach, excuse me. Hey, Sean Hall. But as we approach the end of print Dragon and Dungeon magazines, the guys over at Paizo were actually talking to Gygax and Kuntz and Ward. So, like, there's a couple of issues of More Castle, for example, by Rob Kuntz. Now, it's 3EFI'd, right? But going to Gary and going to Rob and going to Jim and so on, and I mean, I can strip third edition stuff out to use their adventures. But when they were working close with, again, with Gary and Rob and Jim and so on and et cetera, you were getting pretty consistently old school material, better than what Wizards was putting out. I mean, honestly, I think those guys kind of drifting away from the fold is probably the best thing in the world for Wizards, because if you asked me, what would I rather play? Would I rather play something written by RJK or Gary, God rest his soul, or somebody like that? Or, you know, fantasy collegiate barista garbage, that Strixhaven awfulness that Wizards of the Coast puts out? I know straight away what I would rather play. I know absolutely what I would rather play. And I have, let me see. I can never do this. Hold on. Can I see it? Yeah, right here. This is Dungeon 112. More Castle. Right there. By Gary and Rob. And I mean, this is worth owning. This is worth tracking down. I think it's kind of expensive, but I mean, it's an old school D&D adventure. It's worth your time. It's worth a deep dive, which it has been a minute or two, but I've actually done a bit of a deep dive on this particular issue. So let me see if I can put this back now. But I have, you know, I have a lot of stuff which is technically third edition, but like, you know, Gary wrote the Slayer's Guide to Dragons, and I mentioned this the other night. What is in the Slayer's Guide to Dragons but an addendum meant for Lost Caverns of Sojcomp? Now, obviously, Gary had to change a few things around, since kind of has to, you know. But there it is. So if you turn your nose up at stuff just because of addition, I think you're going to miss some classic stuff that the masters put out. So always take a second look at that. I'm not getting all kumbaya, let's have an ecumenical cuddle puddle. I'm just saying that if you see something again that was made for a D20 based system, but it's got Gary's name on it, or it's got Rob's name on it, or it's got Jim's name on it, or something like that, it's probably worth your time to deconvert or back convert or whatever to classic D&D. And it doesn't take a huge amount of work to do. I mean, I think the biggest hurdle you have to overcome in Moore Castle is like one of the bad guys is a necromancer, but she's a hobgoblin, and hobgoblins are like cannon fodder to me. Not in the sense that I won't play them intelligently, I will, but I mean, to me, that's a role, elf, half elf, human, even a gnome, right? But not a hobgoblin. Only got the first 13 issues of Dungeons. Wasn't useful content. I'll say this. Prophet of Beans, greetings. She's a hot goblin. No, we're not. No, we're not doing the short stack goblin mommy meme. No, get out of here with that Prophet of Beans. Hob, H-O-B, Hob goblin. But if nothing else, you can grab an issue of Dungeon Magazine and have a map just like that. Damn, I need a map for tonight's game. Boom, shot, and there you go. I was asked not to DM because in my world, it's rare for races to work well together unless they're all up the creek. I just think hobgoblin. I don't know. Come on, Hunter. The real short stack race is half like. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Give me my short stack halfling mummy. But anyway, no, I had never heard hobgoblin, like the etymology of the word hobgoblin, not entomology. They're not bugs. This is not Nick Fury or Prodeo. A giant hoblin and a goblin. Oh no. Well, you know what? Let's use the power of the internet. Oh, you're not derailing anything. First appearing in English in 1530, hobgoblin combined goblin with hob, a word meaning sprite or elf that derived from hob, H-O-B-B-E, a nickname for Robert. So they're bobgoblins. You're not derailing anything. It's Tuesday night before AD&D. So there you go. Goblins combined with elf or sprite. But back like pre Lord Dunsany, J.R.R. Tolkien, elves' elegant angelic like features there. Very different. I wonder if you had taken The Hobbit back to 1837 instead of 1937, and The Lord of the Rings, the 1850s instead of the 1950s. Would they have been? Would they have been as well received? Am I going to be an NTRPG? I can say almost absolutely certainly not. One, I don't think I'll be up to the travel considering what I've been through. And two, of course, there's financial concerns. Did I know that Robert Forward's son, also named Robert, was one of the principal writers of Beast Wars Transformers? I did not, Uncle Brat. That is fascinating. Thank you. Now, I could be mistaken, but are there not some classic Trek episodes that were written by Robert L. Forward? I feel like I saw his name in the writing credits. Let's check that out. I could be completely wrong about that. Does anyone know? Running a Mystara game this weekend. That's cool. Someone told you I have adventures for sale on Drive-Thru RPG. Greetings, grumpy old Slan. I have a couple. They're from different companies. My friends over at Hellabard Games, who are, by the way, they're the show sponsor. Hellabard Games, of course, they make the kind of RPGs that they'd like to play, whether it's for 5th edition, for the OSR, or for Castles and Crusades. Old School is in play at the table with Hellabard, and you can pick them up on Drive-Thru RPG or at their website, hellabardgames.com, where they are currently having a 50% off sale on all 5th edition in print adventures. That's right. They have adventures in a dismal swamp full of lizard men and a desert caravan full of mysterious adventures and chance to win a fortune. So check them out at hellabardgames.com. Use the code 5EOOP at checkout to receive 50% off your in-print 5E purchase. Oh, that's far out, Slan. Anyway, so they have two of my adventures. Again, one is by Hellabard Games, it's Temple of the Sun, and The Lost Crypt, which is by Frog God Games. And I believe you can pick those up on Drive-Thru RPG. You'll have to check me out about that. Huh. I could have sworn I saw Robert L. Forward's name in the credits for the original Star Trek. Mod Hunter, one of my favorite characters when I get away from Forever DM was Ston, Super Halfling. Roll 16 218s and the rest 17s on 2d10 for Warhammer FRPG, except for height, 2d10 equals 3. Tommy Dye, greetings if I didn't say that. But anyhow, just want to scroll up and make sure I didn't miss any questions or comments. Oh, and greetings to Jack Photon. Ston, Vulcan rival to Spock for the logic of T'Pring. That's right. Amok Time. One of my favorite episodes of Star Trek. Because it gave us that fight music, you know? You know the fight music. You're hearing it in your heads right now. Parasites are bonus XP. I don't know. Depends on the parasite. I do know that in the in the Dungeon Master's Guide, the sorry, I'm just checking something. The Rock Grub gives no XP. You should at least give one for the trouble you're going to be in if that thing gets on you. Let me see. Let me look at this. Come on. Come on. All right, so Rot Grubs. They have 1 hit point. XP value nil. I think that's kind of BS. I think if you're talking about something that can kill any character, there's no saving throw. All right? There is no saving throw. If it hits you, it burrows into your flesh. And if it gets on you, it hits you. How are those not given at least a 1 XP value? I mean, they have special attacks. They can do what a Lich casting like Disintegrate or Wish can't do. Right? Trace says, all this talk of swamps is taking me back to the Night of the Walking Dead first session of my wife's Ravenloft campaign. So was she running it, Trace? Was she the DM? Inquiring minds want to know. Tell my dwarfer in the name Stumping and get a new career as a baseball base. That's pretty cool, Trace. Yeah, I mentioned that. I said, getting a load of rock grubs is simply beyond experience is all there is to it. Well, I mean, you could make the you could make the comment that rock grubs are worth 1,000 XP to whomever they hit. I'll leave you to puzzle out why. Now your rock grub grenade, what you want to do is you want to get your kobold or your goblin or hobgoblin wrangler. You get a thin-sided clay pot with a narrow neck. You stuff rotten meat down in it. You just jam it in there with a stick. Then you put a few rot grubs in and cork it. And you throw those. You have the monsters throwing those at an adventuring party. Rot grub grenades. Now, you might roll a d6 and see, if you're feeling generous, see how many get pulped by, being thrown at the party. But the first one that doesn't, that party is going to be afraid. So if you say, well, there's 3 in each, roll a d6. I got a 1. Guess what? 2 of them survived. 2 rot grubs. Sounds like it. See, that's, people are like, oh, yeah, give me the short stack guy. Yeah, no, the short stack female goblin. Yeah, she's the one loading these things up. Jack says, search eBay, AD&D Librum. These are 4 draft copies available, modest cost to cover time and experiences. PDF released within the fortnight or so. Yay! For those of you who don't know what Jack is talking about, we actually had a mail call where we looked at Jack's AD&D compilations, his which I have them. They're tucked away over here. The Book of Infinite Spells, the Librum of Gameful Conjurations, and then what is the other one here? We have, come on, crushing something. We have the Book of Exalted NPCs. So avail yourself once they're available, boys and girls. Jolly Gaming, hello, greetings, good to see you. Orkin Pest Control is a company in my setting run by half work, hires folks for dealing with these things. There you go. So yes, when those volumes become available, Jack will tell us, and I encourage you all to rush out and get them to add to your AD&D collection, because they're just darn convenient things to have at the table. Volumes. It's like, I want a witch. I want one of the potentially good witches from Dragon Magazine 112. It's in there. I want an alchemist. It's in there. I want a psionicist. It's all good stuff. Rock grubs are why characters carry oil flasks. You're darn tootin'. Anyone saying short stack hobgoblin mommy makes me think of the sexy gremlin and Gremlins 2, and therefore we unalive it with fire. Exactly so, Helen. Exactly so. Gary Con was a stone groove, Jolly. It was an absolutely unreal time in terms of having fun. I did so much. I got to game in AD&D. I got to game in OD&D. I ran OD&D. I got to play in whatever glorious mashup of D&D that Heidi and her husband Eric were running. That was tons of fun. Yeah, I think you could lose about a third of Monster Manual 2 and 2/3 of Fiend Folio and get one good solid gaming volume, Jack. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, Jolly, to continue to answer your question, I have video that needs to be edited and then uploaded and shared with you guys. I did not mean to wait this long, but I got the con crud. I got the con crud, but I had a fantastic time while I was there. So, yeah, it was an absolute blast, and I'm going to be sharing that footage with you guys once I kind of get a little bit more on my feet. Because as I said today, I kind of looked around and said, I'm going to go right back to bed. I got my comforter, and I after I'd gotten up and fed my dog and made sure that the kids were squared away, I just laid back down and took an even longer nap through the day. All the monsters in D&D, the Sturge scares the hell out of me. Yeah, they're pretty tough. Trace, if you can make it to Gary Con, do. do go. It was a really good scene. It was a really positive scene, and I liked it quite a bit. I recommend it. I absolutely recommend it. An Elvish frat trying to ruin. I see a Revenge of the Nerds like plot coming up there. I have to alphabet them all first, then chop from there. We'll need various opinions as to chaff. I mean, again, just off the top of my head, from the Fiend Folio, Trillic, gone. Bone Snapper, gone. Tirafeg, gone. What is that? The Carbuncle, gone. Nilbog, gone. Flump, out of there. What is it? The Adherer. There's basically a tape mummy, and then there's like this thing that just looks like a Pillsbury Doughboy sort of thing called the Adherer. I think there's a lot of redundancy in Fiend Folio, like personally, I think the Hikuva, the Eye of Fear and Flame, and the Revenant. Look, pick one of them. Pick one of them and get rid of the others. I don't blame you, Uncle Brat. I mean, okay, so I think there's good stuff in the Fiend Folio. I think the truly good stuff in the Fiend Folio are the monsters created by Charles Stross, Blue Publisher, and the US TSR employees. I think the stuff that they brought from the Fiend Factory, contributions to White Dwarf magazine, are almost all universally garbage. Strong opinion, I know, and I hope I don't lose fans and subs for saying that, but I don't like it. I do not like it. Ghoul Sturges. I won't get any sleep tonight. Undead ghouls. I think there's some vital entries in there just for the sake of completeness. Loth, Drow, the Oriental Dragons are good. But generally, if you look at it and you're like, yeah, actually, this is pretty good, flip back to the index. Because I promise you, it was written by a TSR US employee, Gene Wells, Gary Gygax, Al Hammock, Tom Moldvay, one of those guys, and not random 11-year-old from the UK. No offense. I'm not. The Gith Yankee and the Gith Zerai are fascinating, but they absolutely require that you're running a campaign with psionics. And that at least one player character has psionics. But then that player's ass is kind of wrecked. Because these things are going to think at him and the party's going to die. Look at their psionic stats for the Gith Yankee and the Gith Zerai. I mean, maybe we can do a deep dive on the Fiend Folio one day just to kind of get it, get it out of there. But again, to go back, I think the good stuff is the stuff that Gary wrote and is the stuff that Tom Moldvay and Gene Wells and Al Hammock and, TSR US employees created. The death salads. Yes. The salads. The slotty are okay. See here, another problem that the kind of okay monsters in Fiend Folio have is that they're great for science fiction games, for purely science. Like there's one called the Seafowl, and that's an acronym. It's like colonial life form, whatever. Yeah, stick that in Traveler. Stick that in a Star Trek, FOSSA Star Trek game. It doesn't jive really well with AD&D. It doesn't. Doomsword says, I hate the gifts so much it pisses me off. They're on the cover. Strong words from Doomsword. The elbow nutsack. It's pronounced salad. I can't convince you otherwise. That's funny. Doing a series on psionics. Well, that's nice, RPG Grandma. I mean, it's the thought that counts, isn't it? But I think, for a monster book, King on the Mountains, good to see you. I think as monster books go, Monster Manual 2 is almost as bad. Almost. And what else? Oh, I think you can make a case that a good lightweight monster book, better than Monster Manual 2 or Fiend Folio, is if you set the actual gods aside and just focused on heroes and mythical monsters, deities and demigods. I mean, because we get deep ones, we get white puddings from Newan mythos, we get all vampire trees from Melnibone. Lots of good stuff. Yeah, I can agree with you both, Doomsword and Jack. Way too much Holloway. Vulture Lions. Well, the problem with the 3-ring binders, Trace, and I'll tell you this, and then we gotta get ready because we got AD&D coming up here. But the problem with the 3-ring binders is how bloated they could get. Is this like if they added a new monster that went in the mid A's? It's like where do you put it, particularly if it's just like a single column of a couple of inches? Isn't that it broke it up? 6 giants, just some dudes that are kind of tall. But anyway, we're about to hop into some AD&D. I'm just waiting for folks to fill the green room. I got Mark and TK are hanging out there. So hopefully we'll see some other folks getting in, and we can play that for a little while. Now, as with last week's game, as with last week's Gamma World game, of course, how long we continue on is wholly and entirely incumbent on how tired I am or am not. So I got at least 90 minutes in me tonight of AD&D. So once once we see at least a couple of other players hop in, or at least one other player hop in, we'll get rolling. I'm waiting on Mobius. As right now we have TK, Mark, and Doomsword are in there. Greetings, Connect. And there, I think, is Mobius. So without further ado, let's welcome in our players and bid good evening to Mark as Brother Ishan, the reliable monk, TK as Sir Outlier, dwarf,
hello,
fighter cleric, Doomsword as Turgo, the bold thief, and of course Mobius as Cecil, John's son. So welcome one and all, adventurers, and we left off at a bit of a cliffhanger last week. You had found a badly injured farm boy who led you back to his family's steading, which has been overrun with hill giants. You have crept in to put paid to these cretins, and you now face them. One of them in front of you is badly injured. Two others have forced their way out of the farm building facing you. And we are starting at the top of the new round, so we're just going to go right into the action. Mark, what is Brother Ishan doing? You have 3 hill giants at least in front of you. The one in the middle has been struck multiple times and is badly injured.
I want to step aside a bit so I can get a clear shot at one of the new ones.
Okay. With your crossbow, thank you for clarifying. TK, what is Sir Outlier doing? You're squared off against the badly injured one.
Correct. I'm going to attempt to render that badly injured one into no more.
All right. Doomsword, how about Turgo?
I forget exactly where I was. I thought I had moved into flank. At least that's what I'm recalling.
As I recall, you were kind of over on the right flank.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I intend to attack, and I don't remember where Darwish was. Maybe somewhere in the middle.
Darwish is actually on the left flank. If you wish to shout an order to him to move, you may.
No, he can. I'll leave him be as long as he's spilling blood.
Okay, and
my dog's still here.
Refusing the left flank is Cork, standing with the 2 men-at-arms. As I said, refusing over there. So we'll start then. Mark, roll initiative for us. I know what the Hill Giants are fixing to do.
A 6.
That is a 4. Party goes first. Missile fire goes first. Go ahead and take your shot, Mark.
Never mind. A 3.
Okay. Twang goes errant and skips off the wall of the farmhouse. Is that the only missile fire? Okay, I'm assuming it is. I haven't heard otherwise. Then let's go ahead into melee. Outlier, take your shot.
Yeah, my dog too.
Okay.
That's going to hit. That's a 13 plus 7 plus 15 damage.
Okay, yeah, he staggers back, blood gushing from wounds, still on his feet, but very clearly in worse condition than when you left him before.
My dog misses with a 6.
Okay. All right. Turgo.
All right, longsword and the dagger. Come on. AC 8 and AC -1.
The 8 misses, the -1 obviously hits.
Right, and that's a big 5 points of damage.
Okay.
That was the dagger.
Alrighty, you draw a nasty slash down him. Mobius. How about Cecil?
Come on, Ranger.
Here.
This is your bread and butter.
I'm going to set my spear because I know they're coming for me in a second.
Okay, well, they're
Are they on me now? Are they that close? I thought they were a little further away.
they're that close. They're that close.
Then I'm just going to stab at it.
That's fine. No, that's entirely okay. Don't apologize.
Does Ranger get a giant class bonus, incidentally? In
Yes.
1E?
These are hill giants. He most absolutely will.
It's a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
And since they're large creatures, it's a D8.
Uh-huh.
3.
3, and are you adding your level?
Well, I'm technically still level 0, am I not?
No, you'd be first
Okay,
level.
So it's +1, so 4.
Okay, yeah, all right. You kind of gig him a little bit, and he bellows angrily at you. I'm going to roll for Darawesh, who's swinging on the same one that you're fighting. Cecil, that is a miss, and the 2 fighting men, that is a miss, and that is a miss. But they are also keeping them occupied. Now let's counterattack, and we'll start with the one that is fighting in the middle for its life. And that's going to hit you. So let's see. Half a moment. I never remember if it's 2d8 or 2d10 with the hill giant, and I don't want to. I don't want to squash it just yet.
I thought it was 2d8. That's what was ringing a bell.
Yeah, I'm feeling it's 2d8. Yes, it's 2d8. So this is on the dwarf. Take this, Runty. And he lays down 11 points of damage on you. Just
Oof.
rears back, just pow, just pops the dwarf.
You said for 11?
For 11, yes.
Thanks.
Going to the right-hand side of the line, this is the one that Turgo is fighting. Turgo, your armor class is
3.
3. Okay, for some reason I was thinking 4. Let's see. So it's a 12. That's 8.
DM, was
Yes,
that
sir.
you include the -4?
I did.
Okay, I'm making sure this time. That's all.
No. It's an entirely valid question. So let's see. You're struck a glancing blow for 5 points of damage, Turgo.
Ah, you'll pay for that.
And you receive 5 points back, Cecil, from the hill giant that you stabbed. He raises up his club and smacks you. Just pow. Okay. That ends the round. Darwish arms are kind of moving to cover your flank there. Actually, Darawesh orders the men-at-arms to fight alongside you, Cecil, and will move to refuse the right and fight alongside Turgo. Mark, what is Ishan doing?
Can I get into a position to get a clean shot without hitting my comrades? Or unlikely to hit my comrades?
the hill giants are tall enough that the odds you're going to hit one of them is actually diminishingly small.
Then I will shoot again.
Okay, particularly if you're going to shoot at the one in the middle that's fighting the dwarf.
Yes.
Let's see. TK Outlier gonna keep on swinging.
I will apply sword until the problem ceases.
Fair enough. Doom Sword. How about Turgo continuing to slash?
Yeah, dual weapon fighting.
All right. Have a nice evening, Trace. Thank you for stopping by. And finally, Cecil going to continue to instabulate with your spear.
Yeah, after welcoming my reinforcements.
All right. Then TK, roll initiative for the side, please.
Sure thing. It is a 3.
The Giants will go first. So this, we're going to just go down the line. This is against Turgo. And once again, you are struck. You take 5 points of damage total. You are missed.
Okay.
And finally, let's see. One of the men-at-arms is struck by the giant. He is flailing, just kind of trying to play you guys like kettle drums with his club. All right. And a telling blow, that man-at-arms goes down. He is knocked unconscious.
Oh no, Leo and or Nerm.
Yeah, probably.
1, 2, 3, Leo. 4, 5, 6, Nerm. Nerm is not.
No.
He's been around forever too, and useless forever.
Not dead. Not dead. I should
Yeah.
point out.
What do you mean useless? Would you rather have been hit?
Yeah.
More useful than
Brother Ishan.
Brother Ishan, will he miss again? Can he miss again? A 17, I hit something.
You hit something. Let's make sure that wasn't a fellow. It was not.
Sweet.
4 points
John,
of damage.
I'm sorry, how much?
4 points. And does my weapon damage bonus include missile weapons?
No, not a crossbow. It won't.
Damn. So 4 points.
4 points. These are actually just heavy acrylic dice, John. I do have metal dice, but that am not these.
I thought he meant meal dice. I was like, what the hell is a meal die? Yeah.
And that's why mine have lost all their paint.
As long as it's not lead paint.
There's some joke in there about playing D&D with U.S. Marines and not being able to color the dice in because they ate the crayons, but I don't know. All right, it's over to TK.
16 damage from me.
All right, that drops it. The one in the center
dog
is
misses.
dead.
My dog
Doom
has, I think, successfully bitten one thing once.
The dog's done.
Oh yeah. He rolled a 1.
All right. So I hit AC 2. Oh, sweet, and AC 1. I believe both of those will hit.
What?
That's 6 and 4 is 10.
Okay. You draw bloody scars. Okay. And finally, Cecil John's son.
Well, so he's gonna try to step to the side and stab up into his armpit or something. 13 to hit.
13. You're a Ranger 1. Let me see. These guys are. All right. That is one of those edge cases. That's with all bonuses going into it. That will not this time. And I will roll for Darwesh. That is a miss. And I will roll for who did we say was up? Leo. Leo is up. That was a solid hit from Leo. Yeah, even as a level 0 fighting man, that is a telling blow. Yeah, Leo slashes the hill giant there, and I guess Cork will stand over the body of the fallen Nerm and miss. Alrighty, the giants are they're looking, looking like they're gonna stay in the fight. Mark, you gonna fire crossbow again in this round, or okay? Outlier, you gonna attack one of the giants on the left or the right? TK, you're muted. All right, well, we'll come back to you. Doomsword, Turgo going to continue to hack?
Show no quarter.
All righty, and Cecil.
So keep moving the opposite direction from the fallen henchman or whatever,
Okay.
Nerm, and try to keep the giants' attention on me.
Right on. TK, you still with us? Let me see here.
I'm applying sword, yes.
You're applying sword. Okay, gotcha. All right, then Doomsword, roll initiative for us, please.
Ooh, 6.
The party will go first. Missile fire goes first.
Back to normal. I rolled a 5. Miss.
Outlier?
Back to normal, I roll a 14, my dog rolls a 4, and I do a grand total of max damage, so that's 20 to the nearest one.
Okay. You slash him good. He doesn't like that.
Three fingers and or a thumb.
AC 6 and AC 10.
Neither of those will hit. Cecil.
Oh, a natty 20. Not that it matters, but still. 5 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, you gig him good again. Let's go over to this is Leo. Oh, absolutely missing. Cork. Does anybody remember what level Paladin Cork is?
3.
4. 3.
4, I think.
Same column.
Yeah, I thought he trained to 4.
Yeah, you're right. He did.
Yeah. All right, and with various bonuses, that is definitely going to hit. So, Cork
Does have
step.
a +3 Vorpal sword if that matters.
Yes, it does. It definitely does. He draws a nasty slash, and I think that's everybody.
Darwish.
Darwish, thank you. That is a miss from Darwish. Next rounds. Mark, you going to continue to fire? Or are you going to get in there with fisticuffs?
I'm going to...
Hey, did those guys attack us?
Oh, that's right.
Thanks.
Sorry, guys.
Sword.
Well, you know.
Being beeper.
No, well, what am I supposed to do, man? It's like I got $100 free from the ATM.
There's a very easy answer with that.
All right, so you guys on the right-hand side, which is at this point, it's Outlier and Turgo and Darwish. He misses. He's just flailing wildly, trying to kill you all. Over on the other side, over on the left side, Cecil, your end, down where you're fighting alongside Cork and Leo. Doesn't matter because that's a miss. So now in the next round, Mark, you going to fire again? Or you?
I'm going to probably miss with my crossbow again. Yes, that's what I'm going to do.
I don't think so.
Outlier are going to continue applying sword until the problem stops.
Well, my dog barks viciously and achieves nothing. Yes.
Doom Sword going to continue to hack and slay.
I plan to cut him down.
And Cecil, you gotcha. Well, it's your turn for initiative, please, Mobius. So roll for the side.
That's a 6.
Alrighty, party goes first.
And I rolled a 16. I believe that hits something.
That will hit.
Awesome. So, 4 points again.
Okay. A telling blow. Let's just make sure that wasn't in the back of someone's head.
Like me.
It was not. It was not.
Well, damn. DM.
Yes.
I don't have my DM screen open right now, so I'm going to have to do something horrible and ask you to do math. Would a 16 total hit the giant?
16 total.
And fighter 5, and my dog got a 15, and he counts as a fighter 2. So my dog might actually hit. I rolled a 9, my dog rolled a 15.
He shakes your dog off before it can do any significant damage. You, however, do hit him in the fray.
Cool. That is 19 points of damage then.
Okay. He is badly injured. Doom Sword.
That's AC 5 and AC 0.
The 5 will not hit, the 0 will.
And the 0 yields a total of, 7 points of damage from a dagger.
There you go. You drive it in. Cecil. Mobius.
Savvy with a 17 to hit.
That will hit.
And 58. 2 plus 1, 3.
Okay. I will roll for Darwish, who finally connects. For max damage. So he slashes the hill giant on the right for a total of 10 points. Over here, let's go with Cork and Leo. That is a miss from Cork. That is a miss from Leo. Giants counterattack. What is Cecil's armor class, please?
It's 6.
You, sir, are dead.
Yep. I got
Well, now, not necessarily. I could minimum. I could roll minimum on this. See, there's a 1. I rolled a 1, and now got to roll better than that.
The suspense.
And it's a 2, so you took a total of 3 points of damage.
Well, it wasn't too bad. I thought I was getting line drived out to friggin' center field.
Yeah. All right. So let's cut back over to the right-hand side of the line, and this is being aimed at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you've all heard it. This one is going at Darwish, and that will miss. All right. In the new round, Mark, what about Brother Ishan?
Trying it again. Shooting with my bow. Crossbow.
Twang. Outlier continuing to apply sword to problem.
My dog will bark viciously. Yep.
Turgo, much the same.
You will pay for your evils.
Cecil going to continue to instabulate.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best dodgeball. Dodge.
Mark, roll initiative, please.
Okay, I roll a 5.
A 5. Party will go first.
I miss. I
Twink.
alternate my shots.
It's coming off that spin cock. You can't quite bring it to bear in time. Outlier.
Good news, I hit. Bad news, my dog misses. Further bad news, I do min damage of 11.
Okay.
Minimum.
Yes.
Turgo.
Damage is plus 10. What more do you want from me?
AC 6 and AC 5.
You're most welcome to start with Roger Palace.
Darwesh. Let's see. Darwesh is up to 4th level now, isn't he? I think so.
When you have enough hit points, Brother Ishan, remind me, and I might end up giving you my gauntlets of ogre power. I do have a +1 strength, so it would just take me down to a +5 damage. So it would take you up to +6 and me down to +5. I think that's worth it.
All right. Darwesh lays into this thing and hacks it. Its blood goes flying. Mobius, roll for Cecil, please.
Cecil's gonna go sticking with his toothpick. 12.
All right. Cork misses and Leo misses. Over there. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is actually going to be a swing on Leo. And I have to say, for fighting 3 hill giants at y'all's party level, you're doing pretty well. Leo is struck for 9 points of damage. Leo is down and bleeding out. Over on the other end of the line, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be aimed at Turgo. And Turgo takes 11 points.
That's the last blow you'll ever strike, devil.
Okay. Entity round. Next verse, same as the first.
Turgo,
Yes.
how are you doing on hit?
Yeah, I'm in fairly bad shape.
May I recommend to our local neighborhood paladin that he uses lay on hands? Please.
If you call out for his help, he will begin moving in this round to come and cover you and lay on hands. Basically, at the end of the round, he'll be able to do that.
How about that, Turgo? That work?
Yeah, that's a start.
Cool.
I believe I'll exist another round at least. Particularly if they miss.
I will hew while the paladin does that.
Okay. Mark, you firing another shot?
Yep, I think I'll hit this time because I missed last time.
Hey, Topplepot TT, thank you for stopping by. Outliers applying sword. Turgo, you continuing to fight a defensive war there?
Yeah, I'm disemboweling this guy before he gets to me.
All right. Cecil continuing to fight. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. And I think it was your turn, TK. Roll us a d6.
Yep. Here's hoping it's better than last time. Infinitely worse. With a 1.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
We can't be silent because they might be giants. We're going to start over here. This one sees the paladin starting to run away, and emboldened, not run away, but move away. Emboldened will step forward and swing at the paladin as he steps back. Let's just double check that. Yes, at the paladin as the paladin is stepping away. He becomes 14. He smacks Cork for not a lot of damage, 5 points to Cork. And the one on the right. Yes, Toppled, we do have a Discord. I will share that in just a moment. That is completely cocked. 14. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That will actually go to your fighter. Oh, I am rolling really minimal damage here, so that's 3 points of damage to Darawesh. Believe me, I'm not pulling any punches. I ain't fudging any die rolls.
Neither are we.
Yeah.
There's no point.
And if you're going to fudge die rolls, are you even really playing at that point?
Exactly.
And this was for...
I think fudging dice are for people who'd rather be in an improv class.
Something like that. There's a Discord link for you, Toppled Pot. Okay. Have all the giants swung on you guys? Yes, they have. Counterattacks, missile fire.
Well, I broke my streak and I missed again.
There you go. Choke up on that foregrip, man. Come on. All right. Now counter melees, please.
Sure. I will go from Vexel into a Scheidel Howl and do a total of 19 points of damage.
Okay, he didn't like that. He's still up on his feet, but barely.
What happened with the dog? He went from worse to worse.
Oh, my dog rolled a 1.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled an 11. And he rolled a
Just
1.
jumps right by it.
Yeah, he rolls over. Sit, Ubu, sit. All right, come on. This is important. Yeah, so I hit -3 with the longsword. The dagger misses. It rolled on my leg and then rolled back on the thing and whatever.
So,
but at least I got a longsword on him.
The longsword will hit.
Oh, max damage 11.
That slays it. So there's one.
Oh, I killed him?
Yes.
Die, bastard!
So you have lay on hands applied on you. You kind of feel the worst of the injuries kind of knit shut, and you receive a total of, I think it would be 8 points of healing.
Sounds about right.
I needed that really bad.
Yeah. And it's more than my cure light wounds than actually as much as my cure light wounds could do. So
Yeah, that saved me. Thank you.
All right.
I can get healed in this time. That was the third one, right?
No, there's still one left up. He is on the far left. Which Cecil, you haven't attacked him yet.
I'm going to try to get him in the back of the
Do
neck
it.
or something. Oof, 3. No, I think I missed that time.
Yes, that did.
Right between
Come
his
on,
legs.
yeah, he's right here. Kill him. Do it. All right. I know what he's doing in this round. So Mark, what about Brother Ishan?
Can I actually drop my crossbow and get it close enough to punch it in this round?
Yes, with your monk movement, that's absolutely a doable thing.
I will do that.
Okay, TK, how about Sir Outlier?
That one's not enclosed. We've not closed with it, right? It's not in melee.
He's maybe 20 feet from where you're at.
Okay. Then I will move over and cure light wounds. Who needs it most? That's the hard
You have
part.
one unconscious man-at-arm and one man-at-arm who's bleeding out.
Yeah, I'll do it on the one that's bleeding out.
Okay.
Leo, I've got you, my dude.
Doom Sword.
I close into combat.
Okay. And
Cecil goes.
Mobius. Yeah, you've got him right in front of you there. Let's go ahead and roll initiative, which I think we were to... Doom Sword, was it your turn for initiative for the party?
Yes, sir. 1.
Okay, it is a tie. He sees his fallen kin. And let's see. He's looking unsure, but he's gonna stay in the fight, and he's gonna swing that mighty fist of his at Cecil and miss. He's all yours, Cecil, until the end of the round when the rest of the party closes in.
Okay, like I said, I'm going to keep trying to get that knee and maybe like bring him down. Oh, that's another 20.
That will hit.
Sweet.
So that's 5 points of damage.
Okay. Mark, Brother Ishan, you go full wushu fire nation pirouette over there. Roll your
Wu-Tang.
And I rolled and I failed. Very consistent. I can't hit anything.
Well, what did you roll? Let me ask you
I
that.
rolled a 7.
Okay, well, it's not a comical bad miss. You know, you just the party is a little perplexed about why you're offering the giant a drink. Water!
Yeah, like those karate things where the guy goes through the whole deal and then like gets shot or hit with nunchucks or something.
Exactly what's going on.
Okay. Party. Any counterattacks? Close enough?
Well, I have an attack. Can I? Did I close and attack, or am I waiting?
You are closing in this round.
Thank you.
Cork is
so he's stable at least.
okay. Yeah, Cork is moving in this round, so basically he just kind of swatted at you with his club, now sees you all surging. You all hear a berserk scream from somewhere behind you. Sounds like the voice of maybe a young man. So let's start at the top of the order. Mark, Brother Ishan is close enough to get in a little at if you want to do that this round.
I will attempt.
Okay. Outlier has cast Cure Light Wounds.
Already did that, yeah.
Yes.
So can I go and cast Cure Wounds on Turgo next?
Yes, you can do that in the round. Doomsword, what is Turgo doing in this round? You still have a giant.
Yeah, I've closed with him, right? So I'll attack him. Thank you.
Okay. And Mobius, what about Cecil?
So
Oh.
he's gonna twist that spear.
All right. Well then, Mobius, roll initiative for us, please.
Big money.
Fine.
Okay. Well, this guy throws his club down and yells, "Ain't no loot worth this!" and turns to run. So,
Well, he's dead.
yes, the young farm boy comes running across, screaming like a maniac, waving dagger in hand, and he is going to take a shot at this thing at +4. The rest of you all can too. I'm not stealing the scene with an NPC. I'm just letting you know that the farm boy has leaped into the fray.
Yeah, let him go first. I gave him that dagger for that purpose. Put that thing through that thing's heart.
Can I divert my heal and just chuck my sword at the giant?
You'll lose your spell.
That's fine.
All right, Mark, you've been waiting pensively. What do you got?
I rolled a 20. Is that 5 more than I need to hit?
Yes, it is.
Then he is stunned for. He is stunned for 4 rounds.
Nice.
He's definitely done
Yeah.
Up
Have at it, kid.
Yeah, let the kid get up there and cut that fool's throat.
Yeah, he goes pretty much full on Judith with his holofernes. He slashes the thing from ear to ear. We're out of combat now, and I mean, like, he's not stopping.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
At some point, like, the dagger, you're not sure if he breaks the blade or if it flies out of his hands, but he goes absolutely feral on this hill giant.
247 stabs is enough.
Here's what I'm gonna hand the kid my greatsword and tell him to just get his practice in while he's at it. He'll tire himself out.
Yeah, he's after this thing dies, he hews at it for a while. It's a great mess of blood and mud, and he is.
I have 1 cure left, by the by. Who wants it?
Yeah, well, we got that henchman, right? Is he still alive? The unconscious one?
Nerm's just knocked out. He's alright.
Alright.
Leo is stable. Both will need to be asleep for a little while.
What about the ranger? Ranger's pretty hurt, huh?
How you doing?
I only took 3 points. I'm not horrible.
Yeah, but I mean, that probably puts you lower than
Your
me.
hit points, man.
I'll take it.
I was about to say, I've lost 11.
Yeah, I'm pretty hurt, but I think the ranger's probably more hurt
That's valid.
percentage-wise.
That's valid. Ranger, you get 3, you get, 4 back, so.
Thank you. Thank you kindly. I was gonna take a drink of that potion you gave me. The Lord helps those who help themselves.
Yeah, I would not waste that if I were you. They're too expensive. Okay. Can we get anything off these giants?
Check
There's
their bag.
nothing my wasted alchemist would want, is there?
There's a sheep in there.
Yeah, and I intend to look around for some treasure,
Giant testicles aren't used for, like, a growth potion or something, potion of bull strength.
Giant brains are used for potions of giant control.
Yeah, but that's true with all animals. Like, anything else?
No, not really.
I hear in some parts of Orth, giant testicles are a delicacy.
Yeah. You don't know how much I'm considering just taking them off. I'm taking them off and taking them back with me to sell as a delicacy.
May as well.
As long as you don't hang them on the back of the the cart. You'll be fine.
No, you hang
Hey,
them on
as long as you carry them.
Brother Ishan's going to use his fast movement rate to like check around all like the huts around here and see if I don't know if there's any survivors or things like that.
There
So
are
you're like the elf from Gauntlet.
fallen back into a state of catalepsy again. Each giant has, of course, a large bag.
It's right on the cart.
Let me see. That was
Thousands of gold right on the cart.
so you collect a total of 13,000 gold
Jesus, Mary and Josephine.
from the giant's bags.
13,000? Did you say?
13 gold, yes.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
most XP we've gotten in a long time.
yeah.
I love
Assuming you survive to get it back to the city of Greyhawk.
No, it's going back.
There is no amount of player arrogance that they can generate that I cannot create enough red dragons to solve.
It's going back or I ain't. I don't care.
Yeah,
All right, so let's see.
it's worth dying in the attempt. Is there anybody left alive?
No. They did like force all the. There's a few sheep that they basically penned up in one of the houses.
Guys,
Yeah.
I think we need to take the kid.
I think the kid needs to go wherever the kid wants to go. But yeah, we can keep him safe.
Yeah, I think we need to keep him safe as well. What do you say, child?
Bring him back to the church or something.
Yeah.
He's catatonic. He's not saying anything.
He'll come back to Greyhawk with us. He can
That's
go to
the
the,
best
he can go to the
thing.
Temple of Hieronymus. Cork and I both are associated with the church.
Very well.
Get a good training there.
I was going to put him. Under Carla's care.
Under who? Oh, Carla.
Yeah.
I think it said Carlos. I'm like
That's what I heard.
Yeah. No.
Carlos.
No. Clara. That's it.
Clara. Thank you. That's the correct name.
Okay. In addition to barrels of ale, various food stuff, the bodies of the other farmsteading folk were clearly in the processes of eating and otherwise defouling. There are 10 gems and 2 pieces of jewelry amongst the loots. Whether it originated here or whether you got it from whether they had it on their persons, you don't know. But 13,000 gold, 10 gems, 2 pieces of jewelry, and
Start
Just-
rolling some kegs over to the cart. Some barrels.
Jewel encrusted staff of charming. Okay.
So would you say this ale is made by the farmers? I guess it's not crappy old giant ale.
well, I mean, it's they're hill giants aren't brewers by nature. They're looters and takers and so on and etc. So this is probably ale or cider.
Look over at Jurgo and say, "Hey, give me a hand loading one of these up into the cart."
It'll load what it'll
Sure.
take.
So this area was basically like a burned down village that the giants raised.
Yeah, it's a small hamlet. There are intact buildings, but in searching around them, you find that they are thoroughly looted.
Right, but we could set up the cart here. We could fortify inside a building or whatever, get some rest before we move on.
Nice.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Wait,
Any
nice.
villager bodies, things like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
maybe with Cork and someone else's help,
Yep.
Brother Ishan can make some sort of common grave and lay them to rest.
Yeah, and
Yep.
a good portion of them have been butchered like pigs.
Yeah,
One mass
Brother
grave.
Ishan will take that job
Do
on.
you want to just burn them instead?
Yeah, put them in a house and burn the house down.
Yeah, that might actually work better. Just build a pyre.
And then we can just take
Very worthy a king.
Yeah. Throw stones all through, build a cairn on top of them once they're all burned out.
Yeah, that's a better idea. So we'll pile the villager bodies up, burn them in a pyre.
The smell will keep anything away.
Meanwhile, Outlier, with your strength, can you move those giants off to the side?
I was just going to burn them.
But burn them someplace else.
No, that's valid.
Sleeping.
Not on this pyre, not on the
Yeah,
villager's
no,
pyre.
you just build two, Yeah. We'll take their heads back.
Okay. That's easy enough to do, and your final disposition of the bodies is villagers and giants both is up to you guys. The boy is a sobbing mess, but at least he's not like eerily catatonic anymore.
Yep.
I'll kind of hang out with that kid as the opportunity presents itself and try to keep him, calm and help him feel a little better about a real terrible situation.
A touchy subject about AD&D, particularly in the disabled community. This is something people probably don't think about. Can I use remove disease to help with this kid's oncoming psychosis and probably permanent depression?
There is magic. It's a little higher up the food chain, or I will absolutely let you as a character research that if you want to do that, but it is not remove disease. Remove disease is not the spell you want here.
Well, I know like lesser restoration and stuff might, but
I mean
that's not my level yet.
Right. I get what you're driving at, and it's very cool from a role play standpoint, but it's not remove disease in this instance. If the kid had a brain parasite or something that had done it, absolutely. But in this case, it's just trauma.
So then remove disease can't. Interesting. Okay. So it'll work on the bacterial level, but it won't rewire neural networks. Interesting.
Right. Okay. Does anyone else wish to do anything as far as poking around the village, the hamlet that is?
I can take a look if you would like. Otherwise, we can just set up camp, protect the perimeter, and leave this foul place.
We may as well, while we're as weird as this also sounds, we may as well take any spare axes, shovels, that kind of thing from here. If only for the sake that we'll have it on the wagon in case we need it. Road work being what it is. This will
Indeed. That sounds like laborer work. While you do that, I shall appraise the gems and jewelry.
That's fine. If we ever have to clear a tree, you'll thank me.
I've thanked you many times, and I will thank you many times more before our journey is done.
Good. Does Brother Ishan want to help me with that?
Will do.
Yeah, I'll take a look too.
I can see like a montage of Brother Ishan just like running from shed to shed.
Kicking doors in.
Probably stepping on a rake.
Yeah. Every time.
Red elf has shot the food.
Yes. Step on a rig. Whap. All right. So searching around, you do find a lot of implements. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's broken up. One of the little cottages there in the hamlet. Obviously, somebody in there attempted to have a last stand because everything in there is smashed up. Everything in there is broken. There's a huge pile of furniture like right next to the door, and the door itself is fairly bashed in. The roof is sagging in a couple of places. The hill giants were not in the mood to treat with whoever was trying to defend themselves at the last. So everything in that cottage is completely smashed. When there's blood everywhere. But you do come up with a goodly amount of farm implements and so on.
We put a reasonable collection of them on the back of the cart for use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shovels,
axes.
axes, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
At least we can pick the nicest ones.
Wow, some good quality in this one.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that handle's not cracked. All right, cool.
This one has oak.
I never realized how much of a difference ash made until I actually started using it instead of oak or hickory.
Okay, so after some time is spent tending to this, what are your intentions next? Are you returning to the city of Greyhawk or what?
I'd like to appraise these gems and jewels.
I'm gonna chat.
If it doesn't take too long, I just like to notate that now.
Yeah.
Instead
Not
of
at all.
pushing it off.
And
Not
we
at
were
all.
going to like camp here overnight and then go back to the city in the morning, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds 3 times,
Okay.
giving myself 7, Turgo 7, and Darwesh 8.
Bear with me just a moment, guys, and I'll let y'all know about the. You guys know about the dice, the gems. I have to dice for them. Is what I'm trying to say. Badly.
Yep. And once I've rested enough, I'm going to do it another time for Leo, Nerm, and who wants the third one?
I'm full. I'm good.
What about you, Turgo?
If nobody needs it, I mean, I'll take it.
I mean,
I'm at about half.
okay, yeah, I'm 4 shy, so like I'm fine. So Leo gets 3, Nerm gets 5, and sorry, Turgo, you get 1.
Better
I
than
guess
0. Beats a blank.
Hang out with Sir Outlier there a little bit longer and get some more of that Dwarven language training.
Sure.
Okay.
He's teaching me all the swears first.
Well, in my opinion, there's only 2 words you need to know: dead baby.
I think Outlier only knows the swears in Dwarvish.
Probably. Well, actually, no. There is one other word you'd have to learn, which is stop. Which won't do anything, but it'll be really fun to hear you scream it.
Javelin, you know, I mean, that's a dwarvish word.
You'd think that, like, I could see a society, like a fantasy society, having a word for the third eye in the back of your head. Like, that specific spot. I could see it being like a drow custom or something to be like, that's where you must stab him.
Alrighty, and let's check these gems to see if any of them have changed in value. That's always a lot of fun, and we'll just do this nice and simple. Let's roll 10d10. For those of you unfamiliar, there is a valuation system for determining whether or not gemstones are have any intrinsic value beyond the base, and it does take a little bit of dice rolling to determine. Let's see. 4d4. So, any questions about anything else you guys have found?
I don't think so.
I have none.
Alrighty.
Use the bot, Luke.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm got wrapped up into doing it by hand, so...
That's cool, too. You're keeping it real.
So let's see, that becomes 50, so... All right. And I just have a couple more die rolls here. So that is 40, so that becomes 1,400. And that was... Okay, you ready for this? Here are your gem values.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have one worth 1,400 gold.
Okay.
One worth 600.
All right.
One worth 100.
Okay.
Five that are worth 50.
Okay.
Another one worth 100.
All right.
And another one worth 50.
Perfect. Thank you. What about those two pieces of jewelry?
The two pieces of jewelry. Much simpler to calculate that, folks. Thank you for every patience. Okay, one is worth 1,800 and the other is worth 6,000.
I'll drop those in the chat here.
Alrighty.
Decent. That one's real sharp looking.
Okay. So you have that. You have, as someone in the live chat pointed out, 1,300 pounds of gold. It is quite a lot. The cart is creaking. Yes, Vince, Doomsword has built a bot. I just periodically forget about it, and I'm sorry. So you guys are headed back to the city of Greyhawk then, yes?
Yes.
All right.
The very next morning.
Okay, and you return to the city of Hawks in the middle of the following day. No one really on the road of note. There's the postern gate is open. The main gate is open. The standard toll is being asked.
What is that standard toll again?
That standard toll is 10 gold pieces per character.
I must let you know, Cecil, that it's traditional for the new party member to handle the entrance fee for the first time.
All right, I start digging through my pockets. I'm like, really? You're just not
Don't
taking
listen.
advantage of the new guy?
I did it. Brother Ishan did it. Sir Outlier did it.
15,000 gold pieces in the cart. I'm pointing that out.
Did you say 10 gold pieces though, Bill? I thought it was like more like 10 silver pieces per person.
Well,
It's 1 gold.
Yeah. What is this? They all look down and like, oh yeah, 10 gold pieces. Yeah, it's 10 gold pieces. It went up today. Sorry.
10 gold pieces.
Yeah, they're like, what's those bags back there? There's this.
It's the really crooked guy on the watch today.
Your cart is sagging in the middle a little bit. You've been gone 2 days. We've seen what you people spend in the city.
We drive out with an empty cart. We come back with a big full cart.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what, treat us better. Not that you haven't treated us well, but treat us better last time and go back and take 15 per. I'll keep my eye on you, of course.
Of course, sir. All right. Yeah, they take 15 per for each of you. Wow, 38 folks watching now. Welcome, everyone.
Yeah, what do we got? We got how many of us? Leo, Nerm,
Better not have to
Darwesh.
next time.
4 of us. 3, 7, and Cork 8, right?
Did you count the kid?
Yeah, you may as well.
Yep.
We'll drop that guy off somewhere sometime. So 9.
Yeah.
So 9 times 15.
No, that's not how math works.
135.
135.
Yeah.
I did like some of the multiplication and then stopped. My brain didn't go on to the next step.
Right. So 13K minus 135. Divide. Come on, man. What? So my calculator doesn't work anymore.
The number's too high. It can't work.
Vince was asking if the bag split. No, I mean, Giants pretty good at keeping giant bags that don't split open. So
We're gonna have to get better suspension for this cart.
Yeah.
get a 4-wheeler.
Get some of that like lighting that goes along the bottom. Get a spoiler on the back.
Yeah, just cast continual light underneath or color spray or something like that.
You could get a step.
Get a
Yeah.
lights in metal drums.
Yeah, so 12,865 is what's left out of that 13.
So, gentlemen, I'll be interested to see what the my portion of that is, so I can donate to the church. But actually, before we left
0 in that case.
before we left town, I had the opportunity to train, but I never did, and I think I'm going to do that now. So
That would be the best bet.
and then perhaps when I come back, I'll just train again because I have a feeling I might be ready for training again after this.
Sure. There's only don't we get less in an out of game sense? Don't we get less XP for giving the guards more money because we're giving away our money and therefore our
Yeah.
XP?
Yeah, but it was only like 100 split, but I mean, what, 10 XP a character? Maybe they'll hook us up.
I need
Turgo,
like-
you'll come up 10 XP short.
yeah.
I'm still, I think I'm like 20 grand away, 18, something like that.
Thousands. Every penny counts. I'm a greedy dwarf. Go away.
So
Okay, that's fine. I'll explain to them that the benefits that I asked for only apply to me and Darwesh.
Good luck.
So Brother Ishan could have trained last session, but I decided, no, let's just keep things moving. So I said, okay. And so he's back. He's going to train now before he gets killed.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the awarding of XP. The Hill Giants, just to keep things simple, I gave them max hit points, and you guys dealt with them anyway.
Nice.
So let's see. Thank you, Uncle Brad. I jokingly said super chat for glass packs, and Uncle Brad really super chatted. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. So you guys get glass packs on your card if you want. So let's see, Giants. So Hill Giants. They net 1,800 plus 14 per HP. So let's math, shall we? Excuse me, 1,400 plus 12 per HP. I was looking at totally the wrong thing. All right, let me just bring up Mr. Notepad here. All right, so 4,200 XP, and then let's see, 72 hit points each. So 72 times 3 times 12. Alrighty. So that's 6792. And so there was a total of all four of you guys plus Darawesh, plus the two fighting men. The boy didn't really get into the combat. He's not going to benefit from it. So that's 67.
The boy becoming a first level fighter.
Divided by.
What we don't know is that the boy is actually a 10th level paladin.
Yeah. All right. So that is a total of 970 XP, monster XP, for the slaying of the giants.
Cool.
That does not count the treasure, which we will now do.
Let's go and sell that off, shall we?
Including the gems and jewelry, the math is 23,165. But I don't know if the gems and jewelry will go down, once we sell it.
Yep. 165 divided by 6. That comes out to 3,309 XP.
Divided between the six of us?
That is correct, yes.
Can I have that number one more time?
3,309.
I'm sorry, that's XP for each one of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
cool.
Don't forget your 10% if you got improved prime requisites.
Yep. So, Bill, remind me how you do this. I had enough experience to level, but I did not, and now I've gained enough experience to go to even another level.
So you stop
Too bad, so sad.
I know. I think I stopped one.
I've been there, done that, bought the shirt.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Time, I think, is the way she goes.
So I need 10,001 to get to 4th level, so I'll be at 10,000.
Correct.
Okay. I didn't lose that much. I only lost about 160. But that's pretty cool.
But with that,
Not
I
too
also have enough to train.
Excellent.
Cool. Okay.
All right, and the disposition of the jewelry. If you go see your friend the jeweler, Mod Hunter, so you keep the gems; they're useful in potions. Well, I will leave that up to the party. They actually have a very good a very good deal with a local lapidary, so they actually don't lose nearly that much. You can bless, or you can thank that that dwarven charm, Captain.
Yeah.
18
No.
charisma.
I'd like to
That's
buy
why
one.
he always goes.
I'd like
The-
to buy
the
one of
David-
those 50 gold piece gems that we got. I'll just
David.
pay gold for it. And then I want to get Sir Outlier to cast a continuous light spell on it.
Yeah, I can.
If
I
you
can
could.
just I can cast it on anything other than a gem. I can give you a rock.
The gem's fine. That way I got it, and if I ever need it for cash, I can always sell it probably for a little
Just
bit more.
remember the party has 2 continual light lanterns.
Yeah, it doesn't help me if I'm separated. I'm just gonna keep it in a little pouch on me.
Makes
That's
sense.
fair. And you.
All
All right, so I'll mark off a 50 and put 50 back in the gold, right?
Right.
And just throw it in the party fund, yeah.
12, 9, 15. Okay, yeah, cool.
Do you think I should turn those heads in for? Do you think I should try and sell them wholesale, or do you want me to try and get potions from them?
You got them for the potions, so go make your alchemist happy.
That's valid. I wonder how much we can make off it.
Maybe you can get a potion of giant control, or a potion of big head.
Hey, better than nothing.
You want to go deal with this lapidary first.
Lapidary first. Potion monger second.
Okay, so your friend, the lapidary, is pleased to see you again. I didn't expect. I thought you'd be on a Sen night at least. What's the latest word on the road between here and Verbabonk?
It's a very dangerous road. Very dangerous, fraught with peril. That's why it takes heroes such as us, and a lapidary such as you, to provide us with the services that we need, as we do and like. We have brought you gems and jewelry. One of these pieces of jewelry I consider to be particularly fine.
Okay, he breaks out his loop and begins to look over it and says, after careful examination, let the dungeon master do a little bit of calculating here. All right. All right, and plus the other one 1,000. I said 1,800.
Sorry, I was muted. 1,800 and 6,000. That's correct.
Okay.
MSRP.
He offers you the sum of 8,400 gold.
It's a most generous offer. I'll happily accept.
Find it so. Of course, my friend. The standard the standard notes to the exchequer of Greyhawk, then, I presume?
Indeed. Thank you, sir. What of these gems?
Oh, that was inclusive. That was for everything.
So, okay, right. So, now see, I thought you made a mistake by giving me too much for the jewelry. Of course, If it was your mistake, far be it from me to correct you. You are an expert. However, I have these gems valued at least 4,500, and the jewels valued at least 7,000. So it seems to me you shorted us by 2/3. Surely that was a mistake.
No, I, the DM, actually did the maths. You're looking at a total of 10,460 for the gems, unless I missed one in there.
Well, I had 4,685 for the gems and 7,800 for the jewelry, because the jewelry was an 1,800 piece and a 6,000 piece.
Right, but that's still not 2/3 of the value off. That's like
Yeah,
20.
yeah. Well, he can roleplay with me.
That's fine. I'm just letting you know. He says, well, you are always a most redoubtable provider of baubles such as these, and I think we've had a good working relationship that you know.
Indeed we have.
I am always above board with my prices, good Turgo. So you can be sure that you will receive no finer offer from any other lapidary here in the city of Hawks.
Well, we have this friend, right? And he's new, and he's from the woods, and he doesn't understand these things, and he needs a particular price. Is there any way you can work the 8,400 to 9,000, given our great reputation and knowing that we will bring you the finest of trinkets, should we find them?
Darawesh, my brother in Foltus. You know that post-winter season is a time of great leanness upon the land. The grain has yet to grow and be harvested. Cattle is tight from the cold winter months. I do not take umbrage at your request, but I am sorrowed because this is the best offer that I can do at this time.
Indeed, I understand. So what you're telling me, in short, is that we're inflating the market.
It is a difficult time fiscally for the city of Hawks, yes.
Indeed, it appears to be a difficult time for us as well. 8,400 it is. Unless friend Dwarf has something to say to the contrary.
I
say
fear
there's no reason you have to sell now. Why sell now? The rocks aren't going anywhere.
Well, we could store them in the Bank of Greyhawk.
Indeed.
It's probably not a good time for banks either, given that the economy is such.
such is your discretion and your pleasure, my friends, and I do not consider it a slight in the least that you would wish to do so.
Just wait until the better buying season. You don't sell your house when it's cheap. You don't sell your horse when it's just given birth.
He is wise. He is wise.
Sometimes. How about this one piece of jewelry? The nicer of the two. What would you be willing to part with for that?
So you're talking about the 6,000 gold piece set.
Yes, sir.
That I will offer you a princely sum of 4,000 gold pieces for, my friend.
What say you, dwarf? This would provide us with some much needed cash.
Well, I don't think our pockets are necessarily lacking for cash right now. It will be some time before I can afford to level. But nonetheless, what was the initial value of the gem? This is for the player outside of the game.
6,000. That's what I estimated it at. That doesn't mean my estimation was correct.
Valid. Take the 4, sit on the rest.
I believe we have a deal on this piece.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
The note for the exchequer, and unless you wish to stay and have wine and exchange pleasantries, he will get on about his business.
If he's willing to do that with me, I have no pressing business. I'll happily sit and converse with him and drink wine.
I will have to apologetically bow myself out, as I am currently holding the severed heads of 4 giants. So, I will have to go remove those.
Okay. Well, we will catch up with that and the Alchemist next week. I'm flagging a little bit, guys. So I think we're going to wrap up this evening. Thank you to my players. Mark, Brother Ishan will be able to level, and I think Mobius, Cecil will be able to level. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll pick up again next Tuesday. Good chatter tonight. Thank you, Uncle Brat, for the super. I always appreciate it. That was lovely of you. Thank you for everyone again, whether you're just stopping by for the first time, whether you're a longtime subscriber. I do appreciate you guys hanging out on our first edition AD&D live stream. Again, tomorrow night, Alan Hammock will be in the house. That is 8:00 Eastern. I know I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. We'll talk to Alan about D&D history and fun stuff he did at GaryCon and all sorts of cool stuff. Thursday will be open night. We might have to look into an issue of Dragon Magazine again, but we'll see. We'll see what comes up. And then Friday night, if you enjoyed this bit of content, of course, Friday night you don't want to miss out, because we will be playing some classic Gamma World on Friday night, and that'll be a lot of fun. So until then, thank you again to my players. Thank you, folks out there in the audience, and we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. So y'all take care of each other. And I love you all. So peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.